morning. This is pre-algebra for Thursday, March the 26th. We're looking at lesson 76, graphing inequalities. Graphing inequalities, we cannot graph an incorrect statement. In other words, I can't graph 2 is greater than 4 because it's not true, okay? Math is true and false, okay? So we have to make sure our statements are true statements. We'd have to change that and say 2 is less than 4, or 4 is greater than 2. Those are true statements with the same information. Those I can graph. Those are called solutions of the inequality. Now, I want us to look at the board. It sounds really fancy, sounds really hard, but it's not at all. Okay? We have x is greater than 2. Okay, since we know the constant at 2, I want to go down to my number line and I want to circle it. I circled the number 2. Now I'm going to say to myself, x is greater than 2. So which direction is greater than 2? Well, it's this way. So x is greater than 2. So it's some number to the left over here. Look at this one. We have x is less than or equal to 2. Again, we go down to our number line and find the 2. This time, we would circle it and say, oh, because it's greater than. But this time, look at your symbol. It says it's not only less than, but it's also equal to. Anytime we have an equal to, we color the dot in. So, I'm going to color that dot nice and big so you can see it. Now, x is less than or equal to 2. So we're going to go toward the less than numbers, and our arrow goes that direction. Let's look at the top. We have x is greater than -2. So I'm going to find -2. Would I circle it or would I fill it in? I would only circle it, okay? Because I don't want to include the -2 because it's not equal to -2. So x is greater than -2, so do I go to the left or do I draw to the right? Since it's greater, I'm going to draw to the right. Look at this one. X is greater than or equal to -2. X is greater than or equal to. Okay, well, I'm going to find my -2. I'm going to color in the dot. And I'm going to ask myself, x is greater than -2, so go to the greater than, to the larger numbers. Look at this last one. X is less than or equal to 4. Okay, since x is equal to it, I'm going to color it in. So I'm going to find the 4, color it in. X is less than 4, so do I go to the left or the right? I go to the left. That, my friend, is all there is to graphing inequalities. That's all there is to it. There's nothing more at all to graphing inequalities. Now, I know that I did part of this lesson with you the other day, and that's perfectly fine. We're going to go through a little more step by step, and you'll see online today that there's a homework section that is from this lesson. You may use your paper in this class to help you with that homework section. So I would take good notes. I would follow along carefully today. Okay, let's look at our number 1. Rockabilly was old hat, but some of the fans still enjoyed it. In other words, it wasn't popular anymore. If there were 29,000 fans at a festival, what fraction would enjoy rockabilly if 3,000 of the fans were rockabilly fans? Well, the first thing we have to say is, what's our pattern? Well, our pattern is fraction times the of equals the is. And with that as our pattern, we're going to say, well, the fraction, if you look at that, it says, our question is what fraction? We don't know the fraction. So we can leave it as fraction times the of. Look back at your book. How many is the of? Okay, there are 29,000 fans. How many is the is? How many are fans? 3,000. Okay, Now to make this easier to follow, we normally would say 29,000 F equals 3,000. We didn't do anything mathematical, we just made it look more like a equation that we're more accustomed to solving. What are we gonna do? We're gonna divide by 29,000. Whatever I do on the left, I must do on the right. So this is gonna cancel, leaving me FX in whatever letter you used. Excuse me. And over here, we get rid of all my zeros. How many can I get rid of? I can get rid of 3 zeros, and I have 3 29ths left. I cannot reduce 3 29ths, so that is my answer. Look at number 2. When the trumpet sounded the charge, 7/8 of the Malalingers disappeared. If there were 16,000 in all, how many disappeared? Okay, if there were 16,000 in all, well, we said there was 7/8 of them. So 7/8 of the 16,000. What are we going to do? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to cancel. Cancel our 8 into 1 and this into a 2,000. 7 times 2,000 is, there are 14,000. Okay, so the answer was 14,000. Look at number 3. The stagecoach clattered and rattled, but still made a 40-mile trip in 5 hours. If the speed of the next leg was increased by 4 miles per hour, how long would it take to travel the 36 miles that remained? Well, let's erase this and get some room. Okay, so the first thing we know is how fast they're going. We know that they did the 40 miles in 5 hours. So my first question is, let's reduce that. What is that? How fast were they going per hour? We're going to say 40 goes into 5. They were traveling at 8 miles per hour. They were going 8 miles per hour. Look at the next part. It says that they want to increase their speed by 4 miles per hour. So we're going to take the 8 miles per hour and add 4 miles per hour. So the stagecoach was going 12 miles per hour. Let's look at number 4. The ratio of players to onlookers was 7-5. Okay, so our ratio is 7-5. Okay, if 112 were players, now in a ratio, we're making it a proportion. It's very important that we always make the 2 top numbers represent the same thing and the 2 bottom numbers represent the same thing. So if we have 7 players to 5 onlookers, we have to make sure we put the 112 players on the top. We don't know how many onlookers we have. So now we're going to multiply. 7 times x is 7x, and 112 times 5 is 560. Now, all we did was cross multiply. I need to get rid of the 7 because I need the x by itself. It says to multiply, so I know that I need to divide because I'm going to do the opposite of what it says. If I do it to the left, I must do it to the right. So I'm going to divide both sides by 7. These 2 7s are going to cancel, leaving me x equals. Well, 7 goes into 56 8 times. 7 goes into 0 0 times. So there were 80 onlookers. There were 80 people watching the game. Look at number 5 in your book. It says x is greater than -4. On your paper, real quickly, draw this line. Okay, I'm going to start mine with a -6. Okay, now it says that x is greater than -4. So am I going to circle it or color it in? I'm just going to circle. Circle the -4. Now, which way will I draw my arrow? To the left or to the right? It says that it is greater. So I'm going to draw it to the right. Okay, let's look at number 6. X is less than or equal to 4. Okay, so let's draw our line here. Okay, now it says that X is less than or equal to 4. So am I going to color in the dot or just circle it? I'm going to color it in. So find the 4, color it in. It says it's less than, so go to the smaller numbers. Okay, number 7 says 60% of 48 is what number? How am I going to solve that? Well, what's my pattern? My pattern, let me erase again. If you remember, the pattern was the percent over 100 times the of equals the is. The only difference between this and a fraction is we have to put the percent over 100. Look back at your story problem. It says 60%. So we're going to put 60 over 100 times, it says of, that's the of the how many? 480. So let's put 480 over 1 and equals. Okay? So now all we have to do is multiply. We're going to multiply. Well, let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of those 6 and the 10, or 6 and the 0. Okay? And I can reduce this as well by saying, oh, 10 goes into this. I can subtract, but this is a 1. And 10, when I divide 480 by 10, I get 48. So now all I have to do is multiply 6 times 48. My answer is 288. 288. You're going to do problem 8 and 9 exactly the same way. Okay? Be very careful on today's homework that you are attentive when you are filling in your answers. You'll see that you have a homework section on today's online work as well as a quiz. Okay, this is simply the work from your book. If you're maybe uncertain of what Mrs. Turner typed, maybe it's too small a font or something, you can go to your book. These questions on today's homework are taken directly from your homework for lesson 76. I do understand that we have gone over this before, but I wanted to do it again because I want to be able to see how you're progressing on your homework. This will give me, doing this online will give me that opportunity. All right? I hope you have a great day. I miss you guys so much. I'm actually recording this one in the afternoon. I've been here all day working and it's boring without you guys. I miss you and I love you and I can't wait to have you back. Remember, God has brought us to this situation. He is exactly where we are. He hasn't forgotten us. He knows all about his children. May I challenge you? Take some time. Spend some extra time reading your Bible. Some extra time talking to God. And remember, if you need us, if you need me, I'm here. You can text, you can call, you can email me, sandy.turner@cbshammond.com, or you can text. I've already given you guys my number that you can text if you have a question. Several of you have been, and I appreciate that. You're doing a great job. Many of you are staying up on your grades. You're keeping up on everything we do. You're doing a great job. Most of you are. And please understand, every assignment is a grade. And when you come back, all of these online quizzes, homework assignments, and tests, that's what I'm using to give you a grade for the 4th quarter. Okay, I love you and I miss you. Stay safe, wash your hands, talk to God, obey your parents. Have a good day.